ARMY shocked. Taehyung suddenly plays tennis with Jin. BTS, their skills go viral. Hello ARMY. Welcome back to the BTS fans channel. This time, I want you to truly step into this story. Not just watch it, but feel every moment, slowly. Imagine a calm morning. Not too crowded. Not too noisy. The sky stretches wide in blue. The sun slowly rising, casting a soft, warm glow. In the distance, you hear footsteps. Slow, relaxed, unhurried. And there it is. A tennis court. Simple. Nothing special at first glance. But on that day, that place becomes the witness to a small moment that turns into something unforgettable. Slowly, two figures appear. Taehyung and Jin. No stage outfits. No heavy makeup, no grand concept. Just casual clothes. Hair lightly moved by the breeze. And faces that look completely at ease. They're not there as global idols. They're just two people enjoying their time together. Taehyung spins the racket in his hand with his effortless signature style. Jin, on the other side, smiles softly, as if ready for something fun. At first, there are no big expectations. Maybe just a few light hits. A couple of laughs. And that's it. But the moment the game begins, everything changes. Tap. The first ball is served. Taehyung swings. And that hit is too clean, too controlled, too intentional, for just a casual play. Jin notices immediately. His expression shifts from relaxed to focused. He moves, returns the ball with equal precision. And at that point, the energy shifts. This is no longer just playing around. It starts to feel like a real match. Full of excitement. Rally after rally. The pace picks up. The ball flies back and forth. The sound of racket meeting ball creates its own rhythm. Taehyung moves lightly, almost like he's dancing across the court. Every movement feels natural, unforced, yet precise. Jin is no less impressive. He reads the ball, adjusts his position, and responds with surprisingly solid technique. And ARMY, who might have only glanced at first, now can't look away. Why is this getting so serious? Have they been secretly training? This is too good for just casual play. The game comes alive. There's a moment when Taehyung almost slips, but he regains balance and still returns the ball. There's a moment when Jin runs to the far corner, his breath getting heavier, yet he still saves the point. And then, the moment that truly sends everything into chaos. Taehyung stands in the perfect position, eyes locked on the ball. Time feels like it slows down. He jumps slightly, swings the racket with full power. Smash! The ball slams onto the court at incredible speed. Jin reacts fast, runs, reaches out. Almost. So close. But the ball bounces out of reach. And in an instant, the energy explodes. Not from a stadium. Not from thousands of people. But from millions of reactions around the world. Comments flood in. That was insane. Taehyung. Seriously. Jin is just as crazy. What match is this? But what makes this moment even more special isn't just their skill. It's their interaction. Taehyung smiling widely, slightly bowing his head, like he's shy but proud. Jin shaking his head, then laughing. as if silently saying, okay. I didn't expect that. Sometimes, Taehyung throws a tricky shot, just to see Jin's reaction. Sometimes, Jin responds with an unexpected return, catching Taehyung off guard, making him laugh. They challenge each other, but in the warmest way. No pressure, no expectations, just pure enjoyment. And as time goes on, the game starts to feel like a story. There's a beginning, tension builds, a climax, and small in-between moments that feel the most meaningful. One of the most unforgettable moments is when they get caught in a long rally. One hit, returned. 2 hits, returned again. 10, 12, 15. Each shot feels like a small test. Neither wants to give up. But at the same time, neither really wants the moment to end. And when the ball finally goes out, they stop. Silent. For a second. Then, they laugh. A real, genuine laugh. Unfiltered. Even without cameras. The moment would feel exactly the same. And right there, something simple becomes meaningful. Because ARMY isn't just watching 2 people play tennis. They're seeing friendship. They're seeing comfort. They're seeing a version of Taehyung and Jin that isn't often visible on big stages. A version that's calmer, more honest, more human. Time keeps moving. The sun climbs higher. Shadows grow shorter. Sweat forms on their foreheads. Their breathing deepens. But the energy never fades. Until finally, the game comes to a natural end. No official winner. No final score. Because that was never the point. Taehyung pats Jin on the shoulder. Jin replies with a warm smile. And they walk off the court. Like 2 people who just created a small memory. Without realizing, that memory would be shared across the world. And when the video spreads, ARMY feels the same thing. Surprise, joy, and a warmth that's hard to explain. Because sometimes, the most touching moments aren't the biggest ones, but the simplest ones that feel real. And maybe that's why Taehyung and Jin are so deeply loved. Not just because of their talent, but because they never lose their human side. The side that laughs, plays, and enjoys life. Just like all of us. So ARMY, if you were there, watching from the side of the court, what would you feel? Would you scream, laugh, or just stay still, taking it all in? And in your opinion, who stood out more? Taehyung, with his effortless style, or Jin, with his focus and consistency? Write your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Because stories like this always find a way to make us fall in love again and again.